we think of Canada, we first visualize the Rocky Mountains, mounted policemen, Niagara Falls, snow and ice, and the maple trees in the fall. Canada is known as the land of the maple leaf, and Canada's beautiful flag is a dynamic representation of this. Why, in this vast country, over 7,000 kilometers wide, was the maple leaf chosen? And it is mainly seen in the eastern provinces. Although the number of species of bird in Canada is limited compared to Africa, the woodpeckers, bald eagles, herons, and ospreys are alone a good reason for bird watchers to visit the country. But one of the most notable residents of Canada is the loon, a water bird with a mournful but yet beautiful call, which is often heard on the quieter lakes across the country in the early morning and evening. The loon is often depicted on signage and is on the Canadian dollar, known as the loon or loonie, and on certain banknotes, and so is also carried right across the land in people's pockets. Thus the loon represents the commercial side of Canada, and its power is shown here by some of the architecture in Toronto and Calgary. Most of the cities are in the south, within a few hundred kilometers of the American border, which leaves vast areas for the loon to occupy. Much of this landscape has been forced up, carved out and ground to soil by nature, using ice and water as tools over millions of years. As the ice recedes, the canyons, lakes and valleys formed by this action are now since regenerating vegetation, starting with mosses and lichens and gradually to trees. These small pines growing on a formal terminal moraine could eventually develop to giant proportions, forming forests and stabilizing the soil. Some of the most beautiful examples of trees and lakes are seen in British Columbia, which is almost 4 million square kilometers, stretching from the west coast inland to the center of the Rocky Mountains. But I digress. Back to the loon. We were lucky to see these loons in Malone Lake in Jasper National Park, as although present in most lakes, are heard but not seen. Exceptions could be high-altitude lakes, such as the one beneath the Edith Cavell Glacier, which are still receiving chunks of ice, discouraging animal life. Glaciers are receding at a fast rate, so the loon's habitat could be increasing. Unlike the early explorers, the maple trees do not seem to have spread this far west, and I therefore suggest that Canada should be called the land of the loon, but would hate to see the maple leaf emblem on flags and national sportswear replaced by water bird.